Okay, that was just sad. What happened to that demon at the end? Really, it hit me. It really just shows you that just because you're a demon doesn't necessarily mean you're bad. Now, once again, I do know we have different examples of demons already. I mean, with the two kind demons we met in the last episode and are helping out Tanjiro throughout this episode. But even then, we have to look at the bigger picture, like zoom out a little bit. We have to realize that majority of the demons that are probably just savagely hurting people, like the demons within this episode, probably because of circumstances, they were forced to be demons, or they definitely were probably forced to be demons, not, given the choice, and they went on a rampage, hurt many people, killed a lot of people, because that was all they knew how to do. That's something that they were just basically forced to do, but to be able to survive in the first place. So because of all of that, it's sad, really, because most likely that girl that died at the end of this episode most likely was a really good person at one point. Maybe an orphan child that obviously didn't really have much going on or anything left in the world, but even then really just wanted to find someone to be able to play ball with, which could explain her character, why she really wanted to just play ball, and why she was getting really into it throughout this episode. And in that final moment when Tanjiro hears a voice, and he just looking around like, where's it coming from, and he grabs the ball and brings it over to her remains, he's like, oh, you're just like a child, even though what you have done and all that, you act just like a child. And it makes Tanjiro, I think, realize that, once again, there's more underneath the demons than what it appears to be. Like, they look like savage, vicious killers, but there's more going on. They're just trapped souls in a way. They're trapped in their own body, forced to suffer until maybe the one day they die. And obviously they don't want to die because, they're scared of it. But, they're forced to live as these monstrosities because, they don't want to die, but they also don't want to, suffer either. So, it's a very interesting, I guess, depiction on what the demons are, and that there's just more going on here than meets the eye. And I feel like this episode really wanted to send a message as well. Like, we got to see how, I think his name is Yushiro, how Yushiro turned into a demon within this episode. It was revealed, and it was a nice contrast with him to also the other two demons that were defeated in this little mini-arc. So, let's get right into that. Yushiro and how he was turned was because he was dying, obviously. He had an illness, which we don't really need to know what it was. The point is that he was dying. He was someone that was really ill, and he wouldn't survive much longer. And so because of that, he was given an option by, the female demon that was introduced in the last episode. He was given an option like, hey, you either A, you can succumb to your illness and die, or if you really want to keep on living, I can turn you into something like a monster. And she did tell him straight up what it was. Like, she didn't just hide any facts. She's like, when I do this, you will cease to be human. But you will live, but you will cease to be human. And I like that. It shows that she gave the individual a choice. Anyone that she probably offers her blood to be able to turn them into a demon, she gives them a choice. She doesn't force it upon them. She gives them a choice. And there might be more to that with her character than we really know. But for now, though, it's a contrast to what Muzan does. Muzan, as an individual, he's someone that obviously forcibly turns people into demons with rather ease. I mean, 2 episodes ago, we saw he scratched this man, gave this man his blood, instantly turned into a demon and went on a rampage. So we know that he doesn't really give a lot of individuals choice, especially after seeing the curse that's placed on individual demons, like what we saw in this episode, what happened to the girl that just wanted to play ball. She accidentally mentioned his name, was talking about him, kind of spilling his secrets a little bit, which resulted in her activating the curse and dying. Which, this is kind of scary. This lets us know now why there's many demons that won't talk about anything when it comes to Muzan, or even turn against him, regardless of their situation. Because it's like what I earlier said in this video, is that even if they're turned into heinous monsters, they don't want to die. They don't want to die. And so because of the fear of death, they follow Muzan. And they don't, want to turn against him. And so there's fear that is controlling them, and that's basically what we got to see demonstrated throughout this episode, is that the girl experienced fear. She did not want to die, but because of her accidentally saying what she said, it activated the curse, and she died. Which starts to make you wonder, the curse that was activated, is it, like, remote? Like, does Muzan have to purposely activate it, or is it automatic? That's not really explained at all, which I'm kind of curious about, because it's a big difference, honestly. That's a major difference depending on how that works. For instance, if Muzan is able to remotely activate it at any point he wants, like if he's connected with someone with the curse, and he is able to activate it like anytime he wants, that would mean that he could theoretically kill all the demons anytime he wants, any of his enemies, instantly. But it's not just that, though. It also means that it potentially could be stopped. Like, as long as if he's distracted and, he doesn't know about the situation, if he's not paying attention or something in some case, the individual could spill Muzan's secrets out. Now, if it's an automated thing to where it just automatically happens because he sets on a certain trigger to where when you do something, it'll, destroy your body, then that's even worse, because that's not something you can really get rid of, because even if he's not aware of you saying things about him, it will still activate the curse and kill you. So it's two very distinct things. It makes me wonder exactly which direction we're going to go down with that, because it really matters a lot in terms of what Muzan is doing to these demons. Like, is he remotely doing it, or is it automatic? But anyways, though, we also have the stuff with Tanjiro's fight. Tanjiro's fight really showed a lot of things that he needs to improve on, and that is endurance. That is something I think he needs to really get better at. He may be really good right now. He trained a lot and got strong, and he does have a lot of endurance, not gonna lie. But after that fight, that brief fight he had with that demon that was tossing him around, he had to execute multiple of those moves just to be able to stop from being flung everywhere. It showed that he does have a problem with using his swordsmanship for a very long period of time. After using it multiple consecutive moves, he grows so tired to where he cannot even move at all, which is very dangerous, especially in a fight against a demon, because if there's anything that we need to really become aware of, is that these demons are not going to be able to get one shot. They can infinitely regenerate. Yes, the blade is able to counter that, but the point is, there's not going to be many times where you're going to be able to get the killing blow on a demon. And so because of that, it's going to be a very prolonged fight, sometimes drawn out for many, many hours possibly. And so if Tanjiro cannot build up his stamina to be able to withstand the blows, for instance, of his own weapon, then he's going to really start to struggle. He needs to improve upon that to be able to be better as a fighter and a demon slayer. Now, speaking of the fight, though, anyone else thought when those arrows popped up all around Tanjiro that his body was going to go in those directions all at the same time? That's what I believed. Hopefully I'm not the only one that thought that. Was like, wait a minute, his body's going to go in multiple directions. But at the same time, I know he's the MC, so he's got to have some plot armor. Even though this series has tried to be very vague with that, it does need to have some plot armor because he is our MC. But I was just like, that was the impression I got, and hopefully I'm not the only one that got that impression when the arrows popped up all on his body. I thought he was just going to start getting stretched in different directions and have to get saved or something. Which, by the way, can we talk about how Nezuko had her own fight and did really well against the opposing demon? It really shows that she's going to be a really helpful fighter in the upcoming fights throughout the series. It seems like she's not going to be someone that's going to be rather useless and going to have Tanjiro protect her all the time. It actually seems like she might be able to protect him. I mean, she showed a lot of strength within this episode. She was able to kick that ball back multiple times with just sheer force. It demonstrated that without even consuming any human blood, she was able to put up quite the fight against a demon that obviously has consumed a lot of, blood to be able to get her own individual power or strength. It's kind of scary, really. It really is. So Nezuko is definitely different from a normal demon, which once again has me kind of question marking a lot, because we are revealed to once again curses of demons, and we know that Nezuko obviously was given blood from Muzan, which makes me wonder if she was given blood and she acts like she does, like she's so powerful, and she obviously has the cells of Muzan in her. Is Muzan able to just destroy her anytime he wants? Could that be the reason why Nezuko doesn't talk, because she's fully aware of it? There's a lot of questions I have, But the point is, though, is Nezuko is pretty freaking powerful. She's able to put up her own fight against an opponent that obviously seemed a lot stronger, more skilled, but she was doing a really good job. And I feel like once she learns how to fight a little bit, as she's trained, she could really put up a decent fight and be able to stand beside Tanjiro and take out opponents with him that are really difficult. So, I think that's pretty much about it. Let me know your thoughts and comments below, how you felt about this week's episode. How did you feel about, the reveal that the 2 demons that our characters were fighting were not actually a part of the 12 demon stars? So, that's, that was an interesting reveal. So, they were so weak and manipulated that they weren't even a part of that group. They thought they were, but they weren't. That's kind of sad. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.